I've been at home for quite a while now, and there are a few interesting experiences that I saw while being trying to freelance at home and trying to find a full-time job. So with my pregnancy, not a lot of people wants to hire me because I have to like um, after delivery I want to stay with the baby for a while, and then I want to work remote, and so not a lot of companies are willing to do that. They mostly want me to continuously work full time with them on site. And so I found a website called weworkremotely.com, but the companies there are usually like international. Not a lot of them are like US based that I've seen. And so and they don't really respond to my requests. The ones that I find on Craigslist, they're like more responsive to me, and they call me up to schedule an interview. But then after they find out my situation, most of them like are kind of like well, anyways. So then I look for alternative, like what can I do at home freelancing while waiting for a job to show up. So then one of the that I saw was Toptal, and in order to uh, like get hired with or be a freelancer for them. So there's a few freelancing websites: Elance, Upwork, freelancer.com, and Toptal. The I've worked for freelancer.com before, and it seems like most of the employer there want something cheap, and I've actually hired some freelancers there, and their quality is not up to par, especially the inexpensive one. There are some really good freelancers that I've worked with, but there are also a lot of people who just write really hacky code. I think I created another video about that, to just get the work done, and those there's a lot more of those than there are the good freelancer. So then, and especially with me being in the US, I can't really work for $10 an hour programming. And so I can't compete with those outsourced people. And so I try to find Toptal, or I saw Toptal, and then I try to register for it. So basically they go through a lot of like processes to be able to work with Toptal. And first is a Codility test, which is here. You basically take an automated programming test, and Codility is I'm not fond of it because it takes a lot of work to even understand what they're asking, especially for me. They write in very mathematical terms, and so I didn't really like their tests. I like Hacker. Let me see, Hackerrank better, and so I like. I think their tests are better written and easier to follow. It doesn't take a lot of work to just start to show that you know how to code, whereas Codility is more mathematical based, and I don't think the exercises on Codility can be finished in an hour. I tried some of it that actually took me 3 hours to just understand and code and test, and so I didn't really like that experience much, but I got through it. And so I went through a live person like testing, then I actually got a project. And the first project that I did, they didn't like because it's supposed to be a parser, but I did it more in terms of like object-oriented parsing rather than algorithmic. And I used regular expression, and they felt that it was hacky, even, and they wanted more like tokenization. So they didn't think that it was their quality. So then I actually got another project, and this time is a mobile project because I actually requested it of them. What happened was I was learning how to make an app through Udemy, and I went to this course, Xamarin Code once on C#, and then it will build to an Android or an iOS app. And I thought that it was a really interesting concept and that it will save a lot of development time. So I wanted to actually do something with it. And after I took this course, it happened that I had that interview, and then I asked them, can I do something mobile related? And so they gave me a mobile app, and I tried to do it. And Xamarin is actually very easy to use, especially Xamarin Form, where you can actually do the UI once and have it, the UI, be translated to both an Android app and an iOS app. And so before, like, your share code can be shared, but then the UI is separate. Like, you have to develop it separately. Now a lot of the UI component can be shared also, unless you have like some very like specific need, like for game or something. And so after I learned it, it was really cool, and I was able to do that part of the app. But then the other part is a web API, and using the REST model. And that one, because I was mostly a desktop developer, I didn't know how to code that up. And the more I did it, the harder it became, because there are so much that I don't know about how to write an API, especially in terms of security. And I want to do it right, like I don't want I want to write code that follows best practices and everything. And so I couldn't finish that, and I told them, oh, I can't finish it. I guess I'll apply again when I'm more suitable, when I feel more like well equipped for your organization. So it was unfortunate that I went all the way to the third step and then had to back out. But through this, I learned a lot, and I was able to find a tutor who's gonna help me learn more about web API and how to write them and stuff like that. So it was really interesting. Overall, this time that I spent, it wasn't completely wasted. I got exposure to a lot of new technology, and it is very, I guess, empowering in a way, where I can learn so many new technology, and especially to be a part of the Toptal. When you sign in, like, you can subscribe to their newsletter, and there are a lot of like interesting articles that their developer write. One of it was about the Google Cardboard virtual reality system that I am very interested in, and that I want to learn how to work with next, because I actually have a really good idea for an app that can use that technology to be very applicable and help out the current technological state of things. So yeah, that's kind of like the summary of what went on and some of the things that I encounter.